Banger after banger.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Hero Chris back at you with another one. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, hit me up on Twitter, TikTok, the community post, man, you already know the vibes. And we're continuing the campaign. I said I was going to stop, but you know, let's keep going because he hasn't tweeted in a while, so I figured it's working. Every thumbs up, every like you leave on this video goes towards the Tony Khan shut the hell up and stop tweeting so much foundation. And so far it's working. I don't know if it's like actually working in real life because of me, or because, you know, people are telling him, yeah, hey, yo, like chill out, stop tweeting so much. But either way, we're winning. We're continuing to fight the good fight. And like I said, man, we're here to talk about NXT. And this is the go-home show for Halloween Havoc. Halloween Havoc this year is going to be a two-night event. Night one is going to start kicking off next Tuesday, and we have night two following that in 2 weeks. And we got a lot of setup. We got a lot of matches announced for night one. A whole lot of stories going on, so let's go ahead and get into it. We're gonna kick it off with the Bada Bing, Bada Boom Tag Team Battle Royale, and the rules are very simple. If you are a fan of Impact, this seems like the most Impact Wrestling as concept to ever be conceived. But the way it starts off is it starts off with a battle royale, and then it goes down to the final two teams. And once you get down to the final two teams, it turns into an actual tag team match. And the final two teams involved in this match were Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza taking on Chase U, and surprisingly, Andre Chase and Duke Hudson won the match. I was thinking it was gonna be the Humberto and Angel Garza, but it was actually Chase U. And the thing that made me laugh the most about this match is, one, the concept that I already explained, but two, you had Tony D'Angelo and Stax watching this match whilst eating spaghetti, while having the Don family watching with them. And I'm like, this is the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. And this is one of the things I like so much about NXT, is the fact that you have that good mix of sports entertainment and wrestling and just ridiculousness like this, and it's just funny, man. So next week for night one for the NXT Tag Team Championships, it's gonna be Andre Chase and Duke Hudson taking on Tony D'Angelo and Stax, and this should be a hilariously fun and entertaining match because of the two teams involved and the gimmicks involved. So yeah. Next up, we had a backstage segment from Blair Davenport challenging Gigi Dolan to a match next week at Halloween Havoc. And later in the night, Gigi Dolan accepts, and she spun the Wheel of Destiny. And the match that she landed on was, I think it's a lights out match. So they're going to be competing in a lights out match, and I think there's like a no holds bar, anything goes type deal or whatever. So, you know, there's that. After this, we have a Lexis King, formerly known as Brian Pillman Jr. promo, and he's pretty much saying that next week is going to be his in-ring debut, and he's pretty much saying how much he hates his dad, and you know, this, that, and the third. And I started thinking as Lexis King was talking, I was thinking like it would be pretty funny if you had Lexis King either one join the Judgment Day, or two just join Dominic Mysterio, and they can just have a I hate my dad tag team. Yeah, that would be pretty funny. After this, we had an in-ring segment with Carmelo Hayes, Baron Corbin, and Dijak, and they were talking about the main event for this show, and they were saying how it was supposed to be a triple threat match to determine who will be the number one contender to face Ilya Dragunov in 2 weeks at night two of Halloween Havoc, but it actually turned out that it was supposed to be a fatal four-way because last week Cody Rhodes had one more thing to do as the special guest general manager of NXT, and he added Trick Williams to the match. So I'm like, yo, this is gonna be pretty dope, but it is also possibly leading towards the end of Trick Mello Gang, and that's something that I'm not really looking forward to. And then what made it even worse is you had Dijak and Baron Corbin, you know, playing the role of Big Hero Chris and instigating a little bit, stirring the pot, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, that's supposed to be your boy, but he got his way into this match without you knowing, huh? And then a little bit later in the night, you had Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams talking to each other. And Trick Williams was very apologetic, man. He was like, listen, I talked with John Cena. He gave me the advice that when it's your time, it's your time. So Cody Rhodes got him in the Fatal 4-Way. But Trick Williams was apologizing because he should have told Carmelo Hayes. He didn't know how Melo would react. And Melo was acting a little weird. He was like, yeah, he was acting a little off. Trick was like, man, we're still going to be Trick Melo again. And Melo was like, yep, yeah, it's cool, buddy. But it didn't really feel all that sincere, which led us to even further in the night where you had Trick Williams being attacked backstage, and we didn't know who it was. And this led to Trick Williams being taken to a local medical facility and essentially being taken out of the match. So it went right back to being a triple threat match. So now this is this big whole whodunit as far as, who attracted Trick Williams. Was it Dr. Mephisto? Was it Eric Cartman's dad? Was it the 1994 Denver Broncos? Was it Carmelo Hayes? We don't know, but I'm pretty sure that this information will be revealed pretty soon. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the main event. So as for this, we had Tiffany Stratton talking trash to Fallon Henley. Fallon Henley was trying to give advice to the women in the back. And like, hey man, I know you're nervous about the women's breakout tournament and blah blah blah. But Tiffany Stratton came in and said, look, y'all don't want to talk to this loser. She lost. I beat her in the tournament last year. Y'all should be talking to me. And on top of that, I'm a former NXT Women's Champion. So it looks like they're going to have a match. I don't think it's going to be next week, but I think it's going to be in 2 weeks, most likely at Halloween Havoc. And it's led us into the next match in the women's breakout tournament. And oh my God, this had Twitter in a chokehold, man. We were going crazy for Jaida Parker. We were all rooting for her to win. Unfortunately, she did not. She faced, what's her name? Carmen Petrovic, I think that's how you say her last name. I apologize if I screwed up your last name, Carmen, what's your face? But we're rooting for Jaida Parker to win. However, that wasn't the case. But there is a bright future in both these women. This match was pretty straight, man. It was a pretty solid match. It is what it is. Carmen is going on to face Lola Vice in the next round. After this, you had Lyra Valkyria taking on Tegan Nox, who had Natalya with her for some reason. And I haven't really had a chance to talk about this yet, but it's kind of weird how Natalya just popped up out of nowhere and just decided to be Tegan Nox's friend. Like, they were beefing before this started, and then she was like, you're all right. Let's be partners, let's be buddies, let's be friends. And it's like, this seems kind of weird. It seems a little bit off. But the match between Lyra and Tegan Nox was pretty straight. And as this match is going on, out of nowhere, you had the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, come up out of nowhere, and they're causing distraction. And this ultimately led to Lyra Valkyria getting the win and beating Tegan Nox. As Lyra Valkyria is talking, you have Becky Lynch appearing on the big screen, and she's saying, listen, man, I'm proud of you, I'm proud of what you've done, but in order for you to try to beat me, you gotta come and do whatever it takes, man. You can't be a fan, man. You gotta be my ops, man. You gotta be my competitor. And Lyra Valkyria is like, I bet. And at the end of the show, like, NXT is starting to do this thing where they have like Marvel stingers and after credit scenes. So after the main event, you had on Lyra Valkyria looking, she's like shaking her head, and then she ripped up this poster or this picture she had of her and Becky Lynch standing next to each other. And as Lyra Valkyria is walking away, you have Jade Cargill appear on the monitor. So I'm like, yo, what does this mean? Because she keeps popping up out of nowhere. She keeps popping up at Fastlane. She keeps popping up on Raw. She keeps popping up on SmackDown. This is the second time she's appeared on NXT. So is she going to show up on NXT next week to, possibly challenge the winner of the NXT Women's Championship match? Because last night on Raw, she got in Becky Lynch's face. So who knows where this is going to go, man. But Jade Cargill, man, they're doing good by this woman, man. They're making her seem like a star. They're presenting her as such, so I don't know where this is going to lead, but I'm excited to see where it goes. So later on in the show, man, we had an update from Von Wagner, who survived almost being killed by that evil son of a bitch Braun Breaker, who looks like an evil Dominican, who looks like an evil version of Vin Diesel's brother or whatever. We have an update. He's rehabbing. He's trying to get better. He's trying to get stronger. Von Strong, we're fighting with you. We're fighting for you, Von. And then later in the show, you had Braun Breaker being interviewed, and Robert Stone pulled up, and he's like, "Listen, man, you're gonna pay for what you did to Von Wagner." And Braun Breaker, he's not impressed, he's not afraid, because it's Robert Stone. So ultimately, this is leading to a match between Robert Stone and Braun Breaker, and this should be hilariously, awesomely insane. I'm pretty sure Braun Breaker is gonna break this man in half with a spear, but you know, it's all for Von Wagner. Von Strong, baby. So after this, we have a match between Kiana James and the host of Halloween Havoc next week, Shotzi. Shotzi ended up winning due to distraction from Roxanne. Kiana James she was gonna go for the bag, and for whatever reason, she still has a brick in her bag. Like, why are you just carrying a whole entire brick in your bag? I don't know. But Roxanne Perez put it into this. She took the bag. She took the brick. And this led to Shotzi getting the win. And then later in the night, you saw Shotzi and Roxanne walking into the back, and they see the Wheel of Destiny, the Halloween Havoc Wheel of Wonders. And Roxanne ends up spinning the wheel, and it's gonna be a weapons. I think it's called a Weapons Wild match between Roxy and Kiana James. So that should be a pretty fun match, man. After this, we had an update from the Metaphor, Aura Mensa, and Lash Legend. We're giving an update on Jakara Jackson, who was supposed to compete in the women's breakout tournament, but for some reason she got injured, so she's unable to compete. She was going to compete against Ariana Grace, who ended up beating her replacement. I think her name was Brinley Reese, I think. But yeah, man, Ariana Grace won. Speaking of the Metaphor, you had Akira Tozawa pull up out of nowhere, and he's like, "Well, where's Noam Dar at?" And they're like, "Shut up, Tozawa, you get out of here." But it's looking like Tozawa's going to challenge Noam Dar for the Heritage Cups, and that should be a pretty dope match. That should be pretty fun. You're seeing Tozawa doing a lot more. You know, he's pulling up on TV a lot more, whether it be Raw or NXT, so that's pretty cool. Nathan Frazier and Dominic Mysterio got into a fight. They're fighting all over the PC. They're fighting the backstage. They're fighting the ring. Mommy Rhea Ripley ends up coming to save Dominic. But this is going to lead to, I'm pretty sure it's going to lead to a match between Nathan Frazier and Dominic for the NXT North American Championship. So that's pretty dope. Me personally, I wouldn't know how to deal with myself if I got beat up in front of Jaida Parker and Rhea Ripley and all the fine women in NXT. But that's just me. I don't know. Some people are different. Who knows? So now we head to the main event, which started off as a triple threat and then went to a fatal four, but now it's a triple threat again. Carmelo Hayes ended up winning the match, and I was honestly surprised by this. I was thinking that it was going to be Dijak, and then possibly after the match you have Trick Williams would come back and do that thing where that wrestling trope where someone leaves and goes to the hospital and for some reason steals the ambulance and pulls up back at the venue, but that didn't happen. Carmelo Hayes won, so it's going to be Carmelo versus Ilya Dragunov, the rematch for the NXT Championship at Night 2 of Halloween Havoc. And for some reason, I feel like either next week or the week after that, we're going to find out who exactly attacked Trick Williams. Could it be Carmelo Hayes? Was it Dijak? Was it Baron Corbin? Was it Eric Corbin's dad? Was it Mephisto? Was it the 1994 Denver Broncos? We'll never know. But as far as this week's episode of NXT, man, I absolutely love NXT. And I've been meaning to get back on the wagon as far as reviewing NXT. It's one of my favorite shows to watch. It's an easy 2 hours to get through. You have multiple women's matches, multiple women's segments. I don't understand how AEW doesn't get this or how they can't do this. But, you know, I'm not getting with AEW, but I'm getting with NXT. So for that, I'm giving this week's episode of NXT the honorary W. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you excited for Halloween Havoc? Who do you think attacked Trick Williams, and why was it the 1994 Denver Broncos? You guys take care. Be easy. I'm out. Peace.